As the seatbelt pulled tighter and tighter and it grew harder and harder for Ellis to breathe, my brothers and I were certain of one thing. We should have listened to Mom and Dad when they told us not to fool around in the car. It was a crisp fall morning, and, much to our dismay, the weekend spent at our grandparents' had come to an end. My parents packed up the car as my two brothers and I climbed into the back seat with my dog. We were used to the trip, so accustomed that we no longer had to ask the typical, "Are we there yet?" or "How much longer?" 4 hours and we were home. 4 hours and we were free from the cramped back seat. Or at least, that was normally the case. It was 2 hours in, and we were starting to grow antsy. In typical brother and sister fashion, we were getting on each other's last nerve, and our parents had to keep telling us to quiet down. Hoping to soften the mood while also asserting his power as the eldest sibling, Ellis ordered my younger brother and I to give him a back massage. Harmless, right? Wrong. Midway through the massage, Ellis decided to slip his seatbelt behind his back and up under his legs. With his seatbelt out of the way and his back being massaged, he was in heaven. But soon the massage ended, and our parents ordered Ellis to fix his seatbelt, a simple command that would lead to hours of struggle. See, when Ellis slipped the seatbelt under his legs, it got tangled up, forming a knot around his body. When he unfastened his seatbelt, nothing happened, and as he tried to unwrap himself, it grew tighter and tighter. Realizing something wasn't right, my parents pulled into the nearest parking lot. I will never forget that time we spent in the McDonald's parking lot, my younger brother and I crying on the curb while my dog barked and my parents fought to get Ellis out of the seatbelt. It was no use. Ellis was stuck, and nothing he or my parents did could get him out. Even worse, the harder they fought, the harder it grew for him to breathe, as the seatbelt was cutting off his circulation. Desperate, we loaded back up the car and made our way to the nearest fire station. An hour later, Ellis was free. It was no easy task, the firefighters having to take apart the seatbelt and then put it back together again. They were heroes, although not in the typical sense. That day they hadn't fought blazing fires, but a seatbelt that refused to set a young boy free. Needless to say, my brothers and I learned our lesson. Mom and Dad are always right. When your parents say not to fool around in the car, you don't fool around in the car. It's as simple as that. Because trust me, you never know what is going to happen.